Hello, God bless you, and welcome to episode 39 of Unshackled Life Q&A, When Bulls Attack, Bible Edition. My name is Dalen Woodard, and I'm a Bible teacher and assistant pastor at Nacogdoches Christian Fellowship and founder of Unshackled Life Ministries in Nacogdoches, Texas. These Q&As cover questions about God, the Bible, and theology, and we'll examine the questions from a biblical perspective and using biblical thinking, meaning approaching the question from a biblical worldview and using the text in context with the passage where it is found, as well as keeping it in context and agreement with the entirety of Scripture. At the end of the Q&A, I'll give you ways to ask your own questions for future episodes. Also, I'd like to thank the person who asked the question we'll be covering today. So let's get to it. Question: could you explain Exodus 21:28 through 32? Verse 29 says, if the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, but verse 28 says they are stoned when they gore someone to death. How can it be shown to be accustomed to gore if it can only gore once before being killed? Let's look at the passage in question before I answer. Exodus 21:28 through 32. When an ox gores a man or a woman to death, the ox shall be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten. But the owner of the ox shall not be liable. But if the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, and its owner has been warned but has not kept it in, and it kills a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. If a ransom is imposed on him, then he shall give for the redemption of his life whatever is imposed on him. If it gores a man's son or daughter, he shall be dealt with according to this same rule. If the ox gores a slave, male or female, the owner shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. This is the case law for deaths caused by someone's work ox, and it also would extend to cases like this. So if your donkey kicked someone in the head and killed them, this is the way that they would approach that. If your ox gores someone to death, it's stoned, which is not an easy way to kill a big bovine, but it shows the punishment for taking human life wrongly. There are two different situations that have two different results for the owner of the bull. Sometimes oxen were castrated to make them more docile, but not always. If the animal doesn't have a history of goring, the owner isn't held liable and only loses the animal. He had no way to know that this bull was going to do something bad, so he's not held responsible. But it is a total loss since the bull can't be eaten. This may seem like a waste, and in a way it is, but it's a waste with a purpose. This animal has taken a life and is now considered cursed, tainted. The guilt of shed blood is now on it, making it unclean. This is why it's stoned rather than simply slaughtered or sacrificed. So there can be no benefit that is derived from the bull's death, and that's most likely why the meat wasn't eaten. But the question has to do with the result of the goring. Not every time a bull gores someone does it cause death. It's possible to be gored and survive. If that happens, then verse 28 wouldn't go into effect. The bull wouldn't be killed because the person injured didn't die. It's also possible that just showing aggressive behavior, attempting to gore people, or even attacking other animals would all show behavior that serve as a warning that care needed to be taken to ensure the bull doesn't kill someone. Knowing the penalty, if your animal gored someone unexpectedly but didn't kill them, the wise thing would have been to slaughter the animal and get what you can of the meat, hide, etc., so that no one is hurt in the future, and you don't lose the value of what could be harvested from the bull. But if there has been warning of aggression and a tendency to gore, then it's just to hold the owner who paid no heed to the warnings, or at least not enough heed to prevent the disaster, responsible. It's important to note that it's unlikely anyone was ever stoned to death under this statute, as it allows for the owner to be redeemed or ransomed. What that means is that there would be a price, a fine, an amount that was derived from how much work a person was able to do based on both gender and age that was paid to commute the capital sentence. And this is similar to the firstborn being redeemed instead of sacrificed to God. All right, thank you for listening. I hope the answer to today's question helped you in some way. As a bonus for those who listened to the end, contrary to popular belief, Delilah did not, I repeat, did not cut Samson's hair. Judges 16:19 tells us clearly that she called for a man to come in and cut Samson's hair for her. If you have a question about God, the Bible, or theology, you can email your question to DalenWoodard@minister.com. That's DALYNWOODARD@minister.com. Or go to the Unshackled Life Ministries Facebook page and ask there or through DM. Find me, Dalen Woodard, on X and ask there or reply to this video on YouTube. May the Lord bless you and keep you and give you an ever-deepening hunger for His Word. Help us spread the Word by sharing, commenting, and clicking that like button. Keep up to date on the Q&As by subscribing to this channel. And remember, when you fix your thoughts on God and build your thinking on the foundation of His truth, God fixes your thoughts.